This time I'm building an awesome, amazing, incredible, out of this world whiskey dispenser. You like one too? Follow me and lass uns anfangen. For my whiskey dispenser, I'm using walnut and resin board that I had made a while back. To hold the liquid, I went to my local hardware store and bought glass blocks. I could not decide which size, so I purchased different ones. From Amazon, I ordered a diamond drill bit, a stopper, and a spout for my whiskey. You will also need silicone. The links to the products are in the description below. Let's start by cutting the wood to size. For safety, I'm using my gripper push block. You can use any hardwood to build a dispenser, or you can watch one of my previous resin videos to pour your own resin and walnut board. As to the build, I came up on a short video online that featured this whiskey dispenser build. I got my idea from there and then I changed it up a bit to make it more my style. The measurements for the pieces are in the description below. First, we need 4 equal-sized pieces to form the square that the glass block will sit in. Use your miter saw to cut a 45-degree angle to the top and bottom of each piece.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
And that's a perfect 45-degree angle.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.
To glue up the square, I'm using Total Boat UV Cure Clear Resin for the resin side and wood glue for the wooden side. The resin cures within 10 minutes with the provided UV light.
When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it.
To get a perfect square, I glued it up with the glass block inside, and then I used a bunch of clamps. While this dries, I start working on the stand. You will need 4 equal-sized pieces. Cut a 45-degree angle on top of 2 of the pieces. The other 2 pieces, you will need a bandsaw to cut out a V shape that the corner of the glass block will sit in. And this is how it will look like. Copy this piece onto another piece. Once you got the second piece, you have 4 pieces to put the box together. To glue it together, use wood glue. Apply the glue, spread the glue, and put the pieces together. I got one of those super handy frame clamps. While this dries, let's continue by drilling a hole into the glass block. We will need 2 different holes, a 16mm hole for the front where the whiskey spigot will be placed, and a hole on top that is needed to fill the glass block, and the wine stopper will sit in it. For now, we will only drill the front hole, since the correct placement on the top hole is easier once the frame is built. Make sure you use enough water while drilling and wet sand the hole to get a super smooth opening. Glue on the whiskey spigot by using silicone. Place a generous amount of silicone onto the spigot and place it gently into the opening. Let it cure overnight. To strengthen the corners and to get a more unique look, I've decided to add corner splines. I cut the grooves on my table saw with an attachment. I added the splines by using wood glue. I let it dry overnight and now it's time to cut them off. To do so, I'm using my Japanese pull saw, and it's just a lot of fun to use it. And now we work on the stand. The only piece that's left from the board I've started with is too short for the stand. However, I really want to use it since I really like the resin look. So I will add pieces of walnut in between to make the piece larger. I'm using my table saw to do so. And this is how it will look like. Now it's time for the glue up. Apply the glue. Spread the glue. And put the pieces together. While that dries, let's have some fun and let's start sanding. This will be enough sanding. This is how the glass box will sit in the frame. I can already tell this is gonna look awesome. Now let's drill the hole for the stopper. Before you drill the hole, make sure you take the glass block back out. To make it easier, clamp the piece to your workbench. To make the piece look more professional, I like to round over the corners of the hole I just drilled. To do so, I'm using my handheld router. Make sure you also sand the hole a bit. All nice and smooth. Now it's time to drill the second hole into the glass block that I've talked about earlier. It's so much easier to find the correct placement of the hole with the wood frame on. Also gives the drill bit stability. Just drill the glass block enough to mark it and then take it out of the frame to drill on the rest. Just like earlier, make sure you drill slow and you use enough water. Make sure you wet sand the hole to make it nice and smooth. The bottom piece of the dispenser has dried and it's time to run it through the planer. Yeah, I might need electricity for that. And that will do, all nice and straight. To cut the corners, I'm using my miter saw. Perfect, nice and square. Again, I'm using my handheld router to round over the edges. And now there's some more sanding to do. Like always, let's have fun with it. Nice and smooth. Now it's time to assemble the piece. One last try to make sure that everything fits together. Make sure you pre-drill all of the holes. For the bottom, I'm using cutting board legs to make sure the dispenser has a firm grip onto the countertop. Tada! Wir fertig! Now it's time for the finish. Like always, I'm using Mica-Made liquid hydration wood oil.
My toes touch the same floor. Our world has been shaken on. Oh, what's your soul saying? Oh, is your world changing? Oh,
Let the wood soak in as much oil as it wants for a few hours or overnight. Then wipe off any excess. After, apply Mousse Morgus wood butter for an extra layer of protection and shine. It's the next day now, everything has fully dried and it's time to try out this bad boy. It works just perfectly, and I think it looks really cool. What do you think? Do you like it? Would you build one too? And thank you so much for the few people that left me super thanks on the last video. It really helps me out a lot to keep continuing making those videos. Thank you again. Like always, please like, comment and subscribe. Tschüss! Ah! Get to the chopper!